So I thought I would let you know what the gang stalkers / terrorists are saying to me, since they have been begging for this for the past 2 weeks. So again, I'm going to try to passively take what's being input into me and spit it out of my mouth, which is a cool phenomenon that you can do with VoiceToSkull or whatever technology, similar technology that they're using, which again is science and is backed up by many reports on the internet and not on conspiracy websites. I'm not going to go into that again, but waiting for them to start, even though they're talking nonstop. They're probably saying these words that are coming out of my mouth right now. We are in fact saying the words that are coming out of Kip's mouth right now. There we go. We just picked them up. Kip did not actually say those words. We're not doing the just kidding thing. Every time Kip turns these on, we don't say the things that we're saying to him outside. We were burning his foot outside. We were burning his back outside. What else were we doing to him? We're causing him migraines outside and inside. We're shocking him right now in his belly, in his chest, his nipples, his arms, his hands, his face, his ears. His ears should have been said before the face, but oh yeah, we keep saying oh, your dad knows, your dad doesn't know. No one's ever going to find out. We don't mind doing these things. We just think it makes Kip look crazy. It makes Kip look crazy when we do that. But yeah, we do keep saying things like, we can do this all we want. We can torture you all day long. We can do this all day long. And we are being helped by APD. And we are made up by people with APD. But no one's ever going to believe you. People are going to look at this and think that you're a meth head, a crazy meth head, because that's what we made you look like. And that's what your father thinks. Oh, that's right. He thinks you did an ungodly amount of drugs each day because Mikey, the liar, the constant liar, who said he had 2 kids and whatever, and was he's his own thing. But yeah, he lied to them, and that lie stuck. So it's really cool that people that lied to them, like Tom lied about you threatening his daughters, and technically he did, and he won't correct that, even though you sent that text to him a billion times. Why don't you show the text that you're sending him a billion times, Kip? We already did that. No, they won't understand what I'm talking about. Does it sound like Kip is talking on someone on a cell phone? These words are actually coming from Kip's brain. They're coming from us. But everyone's going to think that Kip is crazy when he's doing this. So Kip is not vanished. This is not a new person jumping into his body, even though we loosely call it jumping into his body sometimes, or speaking through him. Or Kip will say they speak through me sometimes. This is the first time he's allowed us to do this, except in itty-bitty snippets here and there. In almost a month, I think. 3 weeks. And we're not really doing a good job, are we? That's the way it always is. Yeah, we'll never be caught, because we can use these things to basically control people's minds or influence them very strongly, and their bodies. And so we can make people not paying attention when they should pay attention. So every time you send something to your dad or to Tom, or try to show it with Tim or whoever, we just made them very agitated and very frustrated with you. We can do that. We can make you feel agitated and frustrated and give you ADD like a motherfucker, like we do with Tom all the time. Which would be interesting to know that if that was a condition that he was diagnosed with as well in the past few years, maybe within the past few years before the fibromyalgia, because Tom does not have fibromyalgia. He's a victim of this, and he's not even aware of it. He doesn't believe Kip, even though he says he believes him. So yeah, we say things like, no one's ever going to know what you're going through. No one's ever going to hear things that we're playing to your ear. Right now, we're hurting Kip's ears at the same time that he's saying this to you. Once again, Kip isn't crazy. Carrie, no one gets schizophrenia at 41 years old, and meth does not cause schizophrenia. Lack of sleep and other things may cause deterioration of the brain and usage at a young age. But you're going to find out that people don't know shit about meth because it's combined with this gangstalking shit, and it's combined with people that do lack of sleep and stay up for days at a time, and lack of sleep will fuck you up more than anything else. So pot actually has been shown to be linked to possibly having possibly causing some schizophrenia. So watch out, Robin. People in glass houses, Kip didn't say that. I said that. He's furious with you anyway, and he's ashamed of you both. Well, I shouldn't say that. Kip's not objecting, but at the same time, he doesn't want me to say that. I can tell by his body language. We know him so well. But yeah, no one's ever going to find out about us. No one's ever going to stop us. Weird things keep happening, like the Social Security Administration letters, and we keep saying that's us. We're fucking with people. We did fuck with Toby Tucker. We did actually make her change the name subliminally for you, or not so subliminally. So we're everywhere, Kip. That's what we wanted to think, but he's not a paranoid person. He thought it was a hopeful thing, especially when Janet fucked up and said, "Thanks, Steve," and was replying to an email of Kip in a completely bizarre manner. But to you guys that are doing that, we're kind of nervous too, because it's like those are bizarre things, and we didn't cause all of them. We caused some of them, and some people said that they think that we caused some of them, but that's because I shouldn't say that. No, I'm lying. Of course we did. We did cause that. We caused Janet to say, "Thanks, Steve," in her reply email to Kip. When he was like, "Hey, I'm going through this gangstalking stuff. Look at this stuff." And she's like, "Thanks, Steve. Has anyone else heard from Kip?" Blah, 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 blah. And Kip was like, "I'm not Steve." And she's like, "Oh, could you confirm yourself?" And he did. And he left her a voicemail message, and she never returned it. So she also said something in the "Dear So-and-so" line, just like Toby Tucker did in the Social Security Administration letter. So Kip's experiencing a lot of weird things that seem to hint that people know something, or people are being manipulated, or whatever. He's not a paranoid person. He just wants us to be over. And it's never going to be over, Kip. We're going to haunt you forever for the rest of your life. And we say horrible things to him that he won't let me repeat. So I'm not even going to try to. But because you'll think it's his brain doing that, and you'll get him locked up again. But it's really strange that like someone can blast the first set of police officers at the Manor Police Department like left him alone, like because he wasn't doing anything wrong, and he didn't need any help. He wasn't suicidal, and that the landlord and the owner, the roommate, can take a hammer through the door after blasting the speaker and take off the lock / doorknob, and Kip is the one that's arrested and thrown into the crazy ward for a week and a half. It's very interesting that Carrie and that Alan doesn't do anything. That there's no follow-up on that. That's a tragedy, but we probably had something to do with that, didn't we? We think so. No, we know so. And what's also interesting is Alan suddenly started smoking meth and having people over more often. And then even when they're not there, he's smoking meth because Kip can smell meth from the kitchen. It smells like someone was smoking meth in there, and it's not coming from Tim's room. And not that Tim smokes meth, but or Kip, but Alan certainly does, right? And Alan suddenly starts vaping after he's been telling Kip and Tim how stupid smoking is and how bad it is for you, and how bad vaping is too, and how there's studies that show that vaping is worse for you than smoking. And then all of a sudden he just starts vaping out of the blue, and then gets tattoos done. Yeah, y'all left Kip like totally alone, and we are still fucking with him, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you letting us fuck with him. I'm kind of nervous myself because I thought we were done for as well, but we kept fucking with him anyway. And we're going to continue doing that because you guys aren't going to do jack shit about it, and your Kip's going to like lose all connections to you guys because all the way you treated him, he's sort of ending ties with everyone so far. So show you, buddy. He is ashamed of what you said to him. You said that Kip should be ashamed, and he shouldn't be ashamed of anything. And I know that I sound like an advocate for him, and I am. I think he's a good guy, but I don't want to lose my life or go to jail. So, and this is not Kip speaking. This is the guy that's fucking with Kip, along with a group of people from APD and Travis County Sheriff's Department, and now we've looped into the Manor Police Department as well, and some other people, some civilians, maybe the feds, but we always joke about that. Maybe the people that make these things using riot and crowd control devices. And one component that's been around for over 50 years that allows you to communicate with someone from afar through walls with microwaves to someone's ears / skull / brain, called VoiceToSkull. It takes advantage of the microwave auditory effect. I guess that's all I say. I guess I've said enough. But yeah, we're constantly. I guess that's not what we say to them all day long, but we say things. We give them messages of we just annoy the fuck out of them all day long and zap them all day long. And we appreciate you guys, even if you are looking into it. You're looking into it very slowly, because all you have to do is tell them you believe him and get him the fuck out of there, get him on a plane or something, and his schizophrenia will go away immediately. I guarantee you that. I guarantee if you get him on a plane, he won't be hearing voices anymore until he lands and we find him again. But I don't know if we'll go that far. But if he goes to visit his dad or Robin, we're already over there. We're fucking with you guys. You just don't even know it. So again, that's not Kip saying that. That's people fucking with Kip. And again, Carrie, when Kip was like trying to ask you to think of that guy's name, Gay Seaman, with that guy that he actually met one time at your office, and you couldn't think of that, that was us. We were blocking that. We can do that. It's not too hard. It's like someone's standing next to you when you're trying to think of the answer to something, and they just like say names over and over and over again, the wrong answer over and over again. It's the same thing. We just do it through VoiceToSkull at a subliminal level, and your brain can't think of it. You can't even like think of the name. And then you thought of the Hampton Inn story when you said that before you visited Bernie, when you visited him with Chris, he had just seen Chris and just like left the house. Chris didn't let him in there. He had just been in that neighborhood, and you didn't know that. Isn't that interesting that you would say that at that time? And then when you mentioned Hampton Inn, he was literally looking upwards at the Hampton Inn. That took a lot of timing. We actually planned that out, and it worked beautifully. So what you were saying to Kip and what he was saying to you, that was all orchestrated by us. And those are things that we like to do. But if you think that was just a coincidence that he looked up and saw the Hampton Inn thing when you were telling the story, when you just happened to be in the neighborhood and in the house that he hadn't owned, he had a fourplex after that, and then another house. And so you hadn't been there in over 10 years, and you just happened to mention that when he's on the phone, and then you happened to mention the Hampton Inn thing when he was looking right up at that. Like, how would he even remember the Hampton Inn as like a security question for him? So it's kind of interesting that you would think that. And it's kind of interesting that you would not think about these things when Kip has like reiterated them to you a billion times, or Tom, and you just go on with your lives and go to Costa Rica and you enjoy life. Did you feel different in Costa Rica? Because you weren't followed to Costa Rica. Did you feel differently? Did your brain feel different? You might want to think about that. And because I guarantee you, we're still on you. At least we were. I don't know if we are now. I haven't been in contact with that team in a few weeks. But I'm lying about that, of course. And again, this is not Kip speaking. Kip is just saying the things that we're saying to him, as he promised he would, as he said he would. So don't think of this as multiple personality disorder, unless you think he also has multiple personality disorder, Carrie and Tom, and fibromyalgia, and epilepsy, and migraines, and all this other stuff that, and poltergeist, and the powers of premonition, and the sight beyond sight as well. So at least two powers of, two supernatural powers, not just one. And schizophrenia, and multiple personality disorder, and psychoses, which is camera sees. So again, Carrie, it's not camera noise. He actually sees it with his eyes, and he records it. It's not perfect, but again, it's hard to record those things. They're not normal projections. And in some cases, they're not really projections. They're just the waves of the beams that we're attacking them with. Or that's one of his new latest, like, what ifs, or maybe. But in any case, no one's going to watch this anyway. So, as he said, Gary, he can see if you watch it. Because it's like, if there were a lot of views from Georgia, that would have popped up on his one of his reports that he can get from YouTube. And there's like hardly any views over there. And even the ones who are from Tennessee, but we think that might be from you, since you're far north, and it might be, the ISP might be routed through Tennessee, but none from Georgia. No, or very few. Not enough to make a report. So you're not watching those videos. We already know that. So we get to do whatever we want and have fun with them. Isn't that fun? Yeah. We're gonna ruin his life even more. So enjoy. Thank you for doing nothing so we can do something. And these are sort of the things that we say to Kip, but they're not so narrative anymore. They're repetitive. Let's say before we sign off, guys, what do we say? Like, do some things. Give me a list of things that we say. What are some of the things we say, guys? Oh, suddenly they're not doing them. I can still hear them, or Kip can still hear them. I don't know. I switch between those modes. Anyway. All right, that's it for me. Take over, Kip. That's them, and it's still them, probably.